Hey everybody, this is Jordan with the Crohn's Veteran Podcast. Thank you for joining us today. I'm also joined with my amazing co-host Renika and CJ. How you guys doing today?
It's a Monday, but I'm doing awesome.
Cool,
Doing
cool,
great.
cool. Awesome. Well, we are very honored, very grateful to have two amazing guests with us. Kind of a long time coming here. So Taj and Autumn are joining us today. We're very grateful to have you guys. How you guys doing?
Good, thank you for having us.
We're doing good, man. Thanks. Absolutely.
Cool, cool. Well, we'll get right into it. I'm very curious here. Taj, especially. What's your background with IBD?
Well, I think I've always had issues, like even in my childhood, but I wasn't diagnosed with Crohn's until I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was having flare-ups before, but my family was sort of in healthcare. My dad was also an X-ray tech. And so when I would have flare-ups, he would change my diet to like soft foods, oatmeal, and mashed potatoes, to kind of give my digestive system a rest.
Right.
And it could be like for weeks at a time. So we didn't really go to see a GI doctor or anything like that until I was a lot older. And then I actually had to go for the pain and stuff like that. So that's the only time that that's the first time that I'd heard any kind of GI thing. Like I just thought what I was going through was normal.
Mm.
You think you get an upset stomach, and you think that you need to give your system a rest. You think you need to switch your foods and stuff like that.
Right.
But and I think early on we went a couple times before I actually got diagnosed with Crohn's. We would go to just a regular doctor's office, and they would be like, "Well, there's nothing wrong with you."
Mm-hmm.
The labs would come back normal. You're sitting there, you have pains, but it's not constant pain. So to have somebody tell you you're perfectly fine, I mean, yeah, it's nice that you're fine, but it's kind of frustrating,
Right.
Yes.
Definitely. I know it well.
That's the familiar story, right?
Mm.
Exactly. So it wasn't until I was already in college, I was 21, when I had a flare so bad that I had to go to the ER, that I saw an actual GI doctor, and they were able to have a name for it and tell me, well, this is what you have. You have Crohn's, and these are your options. You can go on. They gave me an option of having surgery, and I was so young that I was like, I don't want to have surgery. So I got a central line that they fed me through for about a week and a half, but that ended up not working, and I had to go back to the hospital. And then by that time I was like, okay, I'm here for the surgery. That's been, years and years ago. So now it's just my normal to be, to always have some kind of digestive issues. It's kind of like my norm now.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for sharing that. And so,
Definitely.
yeah, like, well, I usually, if I was not talking too much here, so I'm gonna let
No, it's okay.
CJ Renika go here.
Yeah. Todd, we've spoken a little bit on social media, and I guess my question is, like, you having a person, your family that's in the medical field background, so you had some kind of sort of like, a helping aid. With me, I didn't have any of that, and going back to the doctors and not knowing what's going on, but just knowing that something is going on. And I always tell people, don't let nobody tell you how you feel. Right. And that was one of my biggest concerns. What were some of the challenges that you experienced, like through the course of not knowing, outside of the pain? Like, what are some things that you actually experienced through that process and being in college? Like, what were some of the challenges you experienced?
I think it was not challenging, but I do remember a point where I had got sick right before I went home for the holiday break, and we did the same thing. We switched my diet to just oatmeal and mashed potatoes for like 4 weeks. I think I lost 30 pounds. Mm-hmm. I came back to school, and everybody was like, "Oh, you look so good." But you don't realize that, this isn't intentional. This is and I didn't even realize it. I realized that my clothes fit a little bit differently, but at home we were so focused on my health that I guess it's trying to teach people who are younger and who don't know what any kind of GI disease really is, that hey, I'm not okay. I didn't do this on purpose. I'm sick, but I'm not sick, because I think people so often are like, if you're sick, you're in the hospital, or you're sick and then you just get well. They're not used to dealing with people who have autoimmune. One day you feel good, one day you feel bad, but you're always sick, So I think that was the biggest challenge, was trying to get support outside of my family. I had friends, and I sorors, line sisters, whatever, who tried to understand as much as they could, but nobody really understands as much as you do,
Right.
I agree with that 100%. I wish I had the support. I didn't have anything. I feel like a little longer going through the midst of all this behind the scenes depression and anxiety that was masking with all this going out and having fun with people and not knowing the whole time my body was actually shutting down, and I was actually I don't want to say the word killing, but I actually was really killing myself because I wasn't even taking my health into consideration, because I did not want to be identified as, oh my God, the girl Renika, she's sick, because people saw me like I look well, but internally I was not well at all.
Oh,
so
you also
how long did you go?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I'm sorry. So how long did you go before you were properly diagnosed?
I was misdiagnosed in 2011 with ulcerative colitis. Talking to Jordan and CJ, I told them that I do remember growing up, I've always had gastrointestinal challenges. My stomach was always hurt. I would have like chronic constipation. I would go like almost like, I remember I went like 14 days not going to the bathroom one time. And I felt like it's just something that happened. They give me milk of magnesia, citric magnesium, give me Epsom salt, warm milk. I'm like, back then the milk worked, but not knowing my body couldn't, because my stomach hurts by the milk work, because I couldn't really drink the milk. But it took me about 5 years to get a Crohn's diagnosis. Prior to that, I would say about a couple of years before I had my real first initial flare. But when I got diagnosed in 2011, I thought I had a stomach bug, but that's when I found out I had some type of IBD when I went in, because I thought I had like a stomach bug, but it turns out that I was like anemic, passing blood through my bowels microscopically according to the doctors, and that's when I found out that I had some type of irritable bowel disease. So I didn't know what it was. So I was kind of like, well, I'm still healthy. What I want to do.
Right, and for me, it was really, really, really fast. Like, my mom says, well, when I was little, like, that I had stomach problems or something, but I just don't remember that at all. And but for me, it was I was 14, ninth grade. I went, we got some fast food. I was spending the night at a friend's house, and I got like a really, really bad stomach ache, horrible. Words can't even describe how terrible that was. And woke up, still had it. Went home. My parents, kind of saw what kind of condition I was in, took me to the hospital, and they started pushing around my stomach, and they, found out that, okay, this is serious. And then they just told me to pretty much strip down to where I was standing, and put on a go and then go into the operating room or whatever. And then they just and then they did like exploratory surgery just to find out what was wrong. And then they pulled out my appendix and they pulled out 6 inches of my colon, and instead I had Crohn's disease, and just like that. So,
wow, that's a lot to deal with as an adolescent.
Right.
For me, it wasn't like that. I feel like it was somewhat of a misdiagnosis. During the time I was working out and just lifting weights, and I was consuming most of my calories through liquids, like mostly the protein shakes, mass gainers. And with that, I ended up getting blood in my stool. But at the time, I thought it was just like a rough stool session. But, as time goes by, it progressively got worse and got to the point where like mostly all my bathroom trips, I was legit like filling up the bowl with blood. And then that's when I knew I was just like, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. But me being hard-headed is just like, I was like, I'm young. There's nothing seriously that could be wrong with me, but I was so wrong about that. I would have wished that, I would have taken it more seriously. I would have wished that I would have, actually got the colonoscopy when they suggested it for me, because I did sign up for a colonoscopy, and before the colonoscopy, I ended up having all my symptoms go away. So no blood, no nothing.
Okay.
And it was like that for like 2 days. And then I'm just like, oh shit, I think I'm good now. So then I call the doctors. I'm like, yeah, I call the doctors and I'm just like, hey, so I'm not having any more symptoms. I'm not bleeding or anything, but should I do this colonoscopy? And they're all like, we advise you that you should, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. And I'm just like, all right, bet, click.
Yeah.
Literally just like that, click. Like, if I would have done that, they would have definitely found, inflammation in there, and they would have told me I had UC. But me in the back of my head, being young and wanting to keep doing everything that I was doing, I waited until, it wasn't an option. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wish I wouldn't have done that. And when you were telling me about when you were growing up and you were having like stomach problems and how you had somebody in your family that was in the medical field and how you would change your diet. For me, that was not the case. Like when I was having like stomach issues, I was just like, what is going on with me?
Right.
Like I didn't even know what was going on. I would tell my parents, oh, my stomach is hurting, this and that, but I was still over here doing the same stuff and eating the same things until legitly it was too late, and I ended up in the ER. And they told me, you got to stop eating the things you're eating. You got to change up your diet before it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think when you're younger, even when you're adolescent or either when you're in your early 20s, like mentally you don't know. Like even though they tell you you're sick, you have no idea how sick you really are. And you have no idea. I remember anecdotally, when I went to have my surgery, in my mind, I thought I was gonna die. Because I didn't really talk to anybody. I wasn't telling my family that. But in my mind, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm having surgery. It's over with. I'm done. So I was surprised when I woke up. So I can imagine what you were saying, Jordan, at like 14 years old, for them to go, hey, you're having surgery. I can't even,
And Taj, I'm telling you, it was literally like, I remember they put the mask on my face and they had all the monitors and all that kind of stuff. And I was like pointing to them and they told me to count back from like 10. And it was just like, and I woke up in another room. It was just like that. It was the most surreal, it was the most surreal thing ever. But Autumn, I'm curious. So, being in, Taj's life or having a perspective on Taj's life, and I'm curious, what's it been like, being close to somebody, that has IBD.
It's a lot different than obviously because, we dated other people before we met each other. So having to understand from a different perspective of, the frequency, the pains, like sometimes she wakes up and because of all the medications and just what it's done to her body, like she can't move. Like I have to physically help her at times, get out of bed, just, move her legs over because the pain in the joints and in the bones and stuff is just so extreme for her. And sometimes I do joke with her when we go out and I'm like, come on, old man, let's go. She does get out of the car and walk like an 80-year-old man. And I'm like, 10 more years, I'm going to be pushing you in this wheelchair, but it's okay. I'm still going to push you in it. So it's all right. So, it might look to some people like she's trying to be cool when she gets out the car, but definitely not the case. So it is like different because when we first met,
I think I tried to hide it.
She did try to hide it because she would come to my apartment and then she'd be like, okay, I got to leave. I'm like, you just got here. And I think we probably dated for like 2 or 3 months before she ever actually stayed long enough. When she had to use the restroom or whatever, go to the bathroom. And that part right there blew me away a little bit. Because I was like, are you okay? Like, she was in there for a long time.
You're in there for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's normal for us.
Right.
It is.
It's a normal bathroom trip.
So I was like, when she first did, I was like, are you okay in there? Like, do you need anything? And I could see why, or like when we're out and she's like, I need to find a restroom. I know, like, it's not negotiable, we need to find a restroom. Yeah. And it's weird for her too, because for me it's the opposite. Like I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom, but I'll hold it for like 2 or 3 hours. So we're good.
Who does that?
Yeah.
So we have total opposites, right?
I had to go to the bathroom today, but I waited till I got home from work.
Right. Yeah. Or I'll say stuff like, "Oh, I had to go, but I held it all. It went away." And she'll be like, "What?"
No.
Where do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it is different in where, like, when she has her flares, like, I feel so bad for her because not having that, you wouldn't think the pain is that bad. But it is that bad because sometimes I have to ask her, like, do we need to go to the ER? Because I don't want her to sit there and suffer and be in pain. And I'd rather take her. But yeah, sometimes I wake up and she doesn't even wake me up. Like, I hear her because the pain is that bad. Like, I wake up. So it is a lot different dating somebody with IBD or Crohn's. I think you have to be a different type of person to date somebody with that, because you have to be understanding in all aspects. And you also have to understand that when that individual says, hey, we gotta go. Like, it's not, just give me 5 more minutes, or just let me go to this store. It's
now.
Go, right? Now. When they give you certain cues to let you know that it's time to go, and you have to be like, okay, let's go, no problem, we can go. Or like if we're at like my parents' house or someone else's house, and if she's not comfortable doing that there, then I know, okay, we cut our time short. It's time to go. Let's go. So I do think you have to be a different type of person to date somebody who has any type of intestinal or GI issues, because there is a level of understanding there that I don't think everybody gets, or everybody thinks it's just, you just gotta go to the bathroom, don't worry about it. It's really not like that, because I do see how it affects her, not just the frequency, but also the pains and the joints and the old man, and so
I can.
Wow.
It's funny you said that the old man thing, just real quick. Like I remember, like, when I was, I guess, sick in my second surgery in 2009. Like that whole year, like probably like 6 months, like I was like bent over like an old man. So like I can directly relate to that. And so the struggle is real type thing. People don't even know. So I'm curious. I'm curious too. So about TAJCBD, and so natural wellness, and so see our.
He's better. We don't even have our stuff. We don't even have any product, right?
And showing the world that. Yes. You tell me, a little bit about, exactly. Yeah. So like how it came about, how it started, and what and what do you hope to accomplish with it?
Yeah, you can start.
So it started because
Exactly.
Yeah. So it started because I was previously employed at a different clinic, and it was very stressful, extremely stressful to the point where I would come home and she would say, you just need to quit. Like, I can't deal with this with you. So eventually I went on like a leave, and then my checks ran out, or my time ran out, and I was still on leave, looking for a new job. So it came about because of the stress in the household, not money stress, but more I was stressed out because I couldn't find a new job, and then she started stressing out because I was stressing out. So it happened because of basically stress and anxiety. And she had said that she heard CBD is helpful for that. And so we went to a local CBD shop here.
Like a vape shop.
Like a vape shop, right here where we live. And then she was like, well, let's try this and see how this works. So originally we started out with the
vapes.
The vapes, right. Originally we started out with vaping it. And then
how was that for you guys? I mean, like how did that work out initially for you?
I mean, for me, I really liked it. Like, I was surprised. A lady that I work with, she was recommending it. Mm-hmm. She was like, try CBD vape, try, and I'm sure the same thing with you all. With me, when I'm worried about something or anxious or nervous or whatever, my insides can tell. Definitely. And I was like, I gotta try something. I've got to try something else.
Yeah, just to
have something. Like, if I'm mentally calm, then I'm physically calm. If I'm mentally everywhere, then I'm in the bathroom half of the day. Fact. And when my day is shot. So I tried the CBD vape and I really liked it. It really gave me not a head high, but a body high. Mm-hmm. And I was able to relax and calm down and feel more like myself. And I really liked it. And, she's always been real great about, if I want to try something, she'll try it with me. So she tried it and she liked it too. But it was around the time when there was a lot of
fake carts.
Yeah. And a lot of people saying, like, you don't know what's in it. People are dying. And I didn't. And honestly, working in healthcare, I didn't know what was in it. I couldn't guarantee what was in it. I bought it from, a random smoke shop. So I started looking into and researching just CBD, reading up on terpenes, cannabis, your endocannabinoid system, like the fact that you have a system in your body that's already set up with receptors. And this is all mammals. This is us and animals and everything. So the more I learned about it, the more I was like, hey, I think I can do this. I can't make a vape. Like, I don't have all that at my fingertips, but I think I can make something for me to take, for me and my family to take, to lower my anxiety, to make it more cost efficient for me to do too. So the more, bless you, baby. The more I researched it, the more I would find out it helps with this or it helps with that, and not just the CBD, but the terpenes, which gives it's in every flower and plant, and it has to do with the aroma and the scent, the smell, the flavor, whatever, and they all have some kind of benefit. So the more I learned about it, the more I was able to go, okay, well, if this is good for inflammation, I'm going to add this to it. Well, if this is good for my asthma, I'm going to add this to it. So honestly, like the mellow on the website, if you see the mellow and the focus is literally, I made the mellow for me. I made the focus for her because it went with what she needed and mine went with what I needed. And the more I would learn about it, the more I was like, I give it to my dogs because so I decided, the same lady at work who recommended it to me, I was like, you know what? I'm starting to make this stuff. You want to try it? And she was like, yeah, I want to try it. So that it kind of builds on. It's sort of like, if you just have that momentum and you move sometimes, things just open up just because you're moving.
Snowball.
So that's literally how we got here. And I tell people all the time, I'm not a salesperson or anything like that. I'm going to make this for the rest of my life, for me. As long as the government will let me make it, I'm going to make it for me.
Right.
And if I can share it with other people and it helps with them, fantastic. If not, if they want to try something different, that's fine with them too. But I think we're so into going to the doctor and giving you a pill for something and writing you off and saying, here, take this, and not even looking into your diet or your exercise or anything else.
Yeah.
Or anything like holistically. And she works in integrative medicine that works with a lot of different things at the same time. It sees you as a whole and not just like one thing. It was easy to get started. Once I got started, stuff just started rolling, and that's what we're doing. We're just rolling with it, man.
I will say our final product, we'll just spit a number, it's probably number 200. I tested 1 through 200. So I was the official guinea pig in all these in all these trial and errors. So what you have now, I was the one that helped get us there, and it's been up and down, but we finally got where we are right now.
If the people don't know, I mean, it takes time and effort, and dedication to make these things happen. So
it does, and she wasn't harmed. She slept one day. She slept for 16 hours.
We did, her first original
working
rest.
that out.
Her first original rest. She was like, "Here, try this," and I'm always like, "Okay, fine." She's like, "I mean, I'm like, all right, fine," because if nobody, it's just nobody's gonna try it if I don't try it for her. So I will say, one day she made me try. I think it was the first rest she made.
Maybe
it was the first rest she made.
It didn't taste good.
It didn't taste bad, but again, it didn't always taste as good as it tastes now.
It was straight terpene,
right? And so I tried it, and then she went to work, and then I was trying to get up, and I couldn't even get up. Like, I thought I would probably I don't know what I felt like, but I couldn't. I physically could, like, I was trying to open my eyes, and I couldn't.
That was it. And that let me know that was a little too much.
And then I went back to sleep,
dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, dial it back. And I finally was able to get up, but it still felt like I needed to lay back down for another 8 hours. And I called her at work, and I was like, "Are you trying to kill me?" I was like, I can't even, I couldn't even move. It was that, yeah.
Very
I felt better. I didn't
rest.
feel bad. I just physically, I couldn't. My body was like, "No, you're not going anywhere. We're gonna lay back down." So yeah.
I tried the Taj sent me over the bath salts.
Yes.
Oh my God. So I tried the bath salts. What was it? I think last week? It was recently.
It was last
Okay.
week.
I'm like, candles in here. I was stressed out. I was like, you know what? I need to relax. I'm the Taj bath salt. So I go in there, and when I put the little salts in there, like the smell, I said, wait a minute. I didn't know they had like flowers in there. Oh my God, it smelled so good. They made me TMI, not keep it real like that, come real like that. I was in the tub for 2 hours. Cause I kept
Came out like a raisin.
I promise you.
Came out like a raisin.
Best sleep. Like when I got out, I was like, okay, I got out, whatever. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch a little TV. I promise you, I got in the bed and I laid down, and I don't even remember going to sleep. Like my body, I was just so relaxed.
Yeah, right?
Like the smell, the whole body, I was just so relaxed. I had a very good night rest at night. So I was like, damn, this is really some good stuff. I think I messaged you on my Instagram, whatever, like the message, whatever. But I was like, this is some good stuff. So I
gotta see you some more. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
I loved it. I loved it.
Have you guys thought about? Go ahead, Renika, finish.
No, I was saying, Victoria love you too. So that's nothing. Go ahead, CJ.
I was just gonna say, have you guys thought about expanding your product to like maybe hemp flour, or
Actually, did we talk about that?
I think not initially. Eventually,
yeah, we have talked. We have discussed it
down the road, because I would after I'm retired or when I don't have to do anything else, I would love to have like a hemp farm, like go from the beginning of it all the way through. I would love to do something like that. The thing that I like about our products is that the vendors that I deal with, even with the terpenes and stuff, I deal with a lot of people who have had illnesses in their family. It's not just like people who are trying to sell stuff. It's people who are trying to make CBD taste good for an ailing family member, like maybe at the end of life or something like that. So it's you can tell a difference when you deal with people who are trying to get your money versus people who have made something to make somebody else feel good. So genuine. I think for with the flour and stuff, I would want to go from I need to be hands-on on everything in order for me to sell it, for me to be like, here, I need to know what's in it, and I need to, so I can tell you what's in it. And I also need to be hands-on from all the way from the beginning to the end. So I would sell flour, but I would honestly, for me, I want to know how you make your flour. I want to know what you use on it. Do you put pesticides on it? Do you, is it healthy? Is it going to make somebody sick? Because at the end of the day, I just want for me, my family, for everybody else, just to live easier with just a little bit better off, because everybody goes through stuff. Even if we don't say it, everybody goes through stuff.
Yes.
But if you could be a little bit more calm, a little less anxious, or not have so much inflammation, or just like you said, Sometimes you just want to sit for 2 hours. You know, that's you. That's what you want to do. Do it. It makes your day. That's it. That's it. That's the tweak. That's it.
Tweak. I like it. It's a tweak.
Cool.
I relax.
All right.
Get y'all some. Get y'all some. A little plug in.
Well, that's awesome. Well, yeah. So do you guys have anything? Yeah. For 2021, any kind of goals or focuses for the year? Would you say?
I think we just launched a new product. Is that up yet?
What?
1500.
Yeah, we did the 1500.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to make it easier for people, mathematically easier to microdose for people who like microdosing, taking small amounts for mathematically make it so that in one drop, because our droppers tell you exactly how much you're taking. Just like with any other medication, you need to know for you if it's working or not. So if you can document that I took a dropper and it made me feel X, Y, and Z, I try to make a different product where you can take more of it, where you can take the same amount but get more CBD and see if it's working for you. So we're doing, instead of just the 700, we're doing the 1500. Right now we have it in the cherry limeade, but we're going to have it in unflavored because that's kind of, some people have hit me up for unflavored stuff. And also the
green apple.
Yeah, the green apple, the green candy apple. Yeah. So, but no, I just kind of go with the flow. And honestly, I make stuff based on what we need and based on the feedback that I get from people. If I have somebody who is nauseous and they're having a baby, they don't like a lot of flavors. So they might be like, hey, I just want just the CBD and I want just the oil and let's see if it works. And I go, okay, let's just see if it works. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if it does work, it does work. So I'm just sitting back.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm excited for you.
All right.
I'm excited.
Well, yeah,
I know when I first saw you on Instagram, I was like, hold on, Jordan. I said, CJ, I got somebody I want you to meet. Now, mind you, I
hopped
had
on
met you
that shit
myself.
right quick, real quick.
I know she's somebody you want to talk to. And that's how we started to connect. So I'm so happy to even talk about it. I've never used CBD before. I mean, like, I'm lying. TJ did turn me on to the store over there. I don't think I'm supposed to feel like this. I ain't feel like nothing. Like it was like $10 for like 2 gummy bears, whatever, over at a little heart. I put a plug out there, but I was like, I don't feel right. So I was like, I'm gonna try it because even though I'm in remission, I still have some other type of extraintestinal manifestations of Crohn's that I'm trying to do with the work through. So even though I don't have any of the gastro challenges I was once having significantly, I do still have challenges from my Crohn's. So I'm going to definitely want to consider investing in something to where my body can tolerate it and I'm not, uncomfortable.
Look at you considering. I'm proud of you, Renika. Considering. She come a long way, CJ. She come a long way, man. Like, no, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna mess with it. No.
One day at a time.
Baby steps.
She's coming around.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I'm wishing you, Taj and Autumn individually, and in your business, success. And also, thank you guys, very much, for coming here. Please, if you could do me a big favor and let our listeners know, how they can find you, and how they can, how they can support you.
So we are on different social media platforms. We're on Instagram. The Instagram is Taj.
How you on Instagram?
Because I don't go on it all the time.
How you on Instagram? She don't like none of my pictures.
It's not true. I put the Spanish posts up there. That's good though, right? I post the Spanish ones.
I've been putting up with this since like 2000. It doesn't matter. Since about 2001. Okay.
So we're on Instagram if you wanna.
TAJCBD.
There you go.
On everything.
On everything.
Facebook,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
You want to finish?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, it's TAJCBD on everything, on Facebook, on Instagram, because I thought that would be the easiest way. So once you find us one way, it's always the same way. And the website is at TAJCBDlife.com.
Cool. I
And
mean,
you can always email us through the website if you have questions, or like she said, people email her all the time. You know, if you can make it a certain way, since we are all in-house. And if, like I said, since we do post in Spanish, if there's Spanish people out there have questions, I would be answering those questions. But
Un poquito.
Poquito counts.
I've taught her a little bit. So when she goes to work in, at the hospital, and whenever she does, they're like, oh, they're like, oh, you speak Spanish. And she's like, wait a minute.
wait.
Poquito.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Break.
I have taught her a little bit, help her with her patients and stuff like that. So then when they hear a little bit, anybody who hears their own mother tongue is going to be like, oh, yeah, we know this.
Right.
So, she comes home and tells me stories like, he really kept going. And I was like,
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like Google Translate.
There you go.
Oh, awesome.
This is fun, guys. I like this. This is fun.
Well, yeah, well, it was definitely fun. I was looking forward to this interview, and it was really, really fun. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Just like super grateful. And if you can, find us at www.crohnsveteran.com. You can we're on Teespring. We might be changing vendors on that, and so we're we're still trying to play with bringing quality stuff. CJ is rocking one of our new colitis veteran.
Just stretching.
Yeah,
Just stretching.
Right, just a little bit.
Just a little stretch.
And so,
yeah.
And so, yeah. So if you want to support IBD, worldwide, check us out. On our Teespring store. We're also on our YouTube channel, Crohn's Veteran on there. We're on Anchor. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on Google. All these cool places. So please, if you like this episode, if you like this interview, like us, support us, subscribe. And so thanks guys for being here. Wishing Taj and Autumn all the good things. So, all right, guys. And,
all right, thanks.
All right, thank you.
You too.
Thank you for coming out.
Joining us. Awesome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.